right, friends. Well, welcome everybody to our ninth workshop where we are here with some special guests today. We're very excited. Um, we're going to be getting started with our workshop agenda. So, as mentioned, we have folks from Native SOAR who are here, not only the mentors, but also mentees. Welcome to this space. We're glad that you're here. And then after the meeting with Native SOAR, we'll stay on for a little bit just to do some housekeeping things regarding the different science fairs and the research projects. So we'll summarize the agenda from the last time, have a few announcements, and if folks need to go out into breakout rooms to discuss their topic, then we can go ahead and do that. Here's a reminder of our community norms. So remember to keep focused on a common goal, strive to understand multiple perspectives, be willing to be disturbed and change your mind, critique ideas and concepts, not people, share the space, engage in the work and respect each other's time, recognize when each of us needs space, accept non-closure, and apologize and work to repair damage if a norm is violated. So from here, I'm going to hand it to our Native SOAR presenters, and I just want to give them snaps and applause in this space to get them ready. I know that they've been preparing for this presentation, so want to just hype you up, and you're going to do a great job. I can go ahead and stop sharing.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carol. I appreciate you. Hi, everybody. Good evening. I know it's pretty late here. My name is Maria Yate. I'm Navajo and I'm from Tenalea. I am the Native SOAR coordinator. So what Native SOAR is, we have a mentoring portion that is part of our program, which is for middle school and high schoolers. Right now, we're actually recruiting some mentees to work with us online on Mondays and Tuesdays. I'll share some information in the chat here, but I kind of wanted just to share a little bit about who we are. I have been with this program for about 5 years, and it's really cool because aside from the mentoring program that we have and offer, we have undergrad students who take our class on campus. So if any of you are interested in the U of A, this is a course that you can take. And then we have our course number is HED 397C. For those of you who might be already considering. So a part of our program, our mentors, they develop curriculum and facilitate workshops to help support your needs. So anything with your life after high school graduation that you see, whether it's going to college, going to the military, going to the job force, whatever you need, even if it's just to be your friend, we're here for you to help encourage you, for the most part. And we just want to just welcome you all and thank you for allowing us to be in your space today. And I'll go ahead and pass it over to our mentors and they can get started with their presentation and introduce themselves.
Okay. I'm going to be presenting the slides. So, all right, is that visible to everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just going to be our little introduction to Native SOAR as college students. So we just want to take a minute to get to know everybody. If we could say hi, if we could just put our first and last name, unmuting or in the chat, your grade level, and just how are you currently feeling right now? Okay, I see Bradley Jr. tired. I feel that. Carol, she's feeling great in 21st grade. That's good. The weather has been really good out here lately. And then Cadence is a second year. She's an undergrad. She's feeling very sleepy. I feel that. Natalie is 11th grade, tired. All right, all right. And is it Jaleesa? Freshman and feeling happy. All right. And Raquel's feeling great. He's a junior in his undergrad. Rose is a sophomore, feeling tired. And Rudy, 51st grade of life, and feeling good today. And Cadence Ginny is a sophomore in undergrad, drained. So hopefully the weather starts to cheer everybody up and like lift each other in its spirits. It's been pretty hot out here in Tucson. I think that today was like 80-degree weather. Okay, so moving. We just want to get to know each other a little bit. Introduce us as spring mentors. And I don't think that Sheila is currently here, but I'll introduce myself real quick. Yad she'e amayali yenishye eshihi nishle eshihi bashishchin nanist eja tachi ni dashiche auto nakai din dashinele tisto de nasha and nasets adashinahai. So hi, I'm Amaya. I'm a freshman undergrad here at University of Arizona. I'm majoring in molecular and cellular biology, and I'm from the Navajo Nation.
Netaugute, she Cadence Palmer Hunsia, she Meshkalinda Unshti. How are you? My name is Cadence Palmer and I am from Mescalero, New Mexico. I am Mescalero Apache and Yintinsu, and I am also a second year at the University of Arizona studying biosystems engineering with the minor in American Indian Studies, and it's nice to meet everyone.
Yad sé cinit san Jenny sit na Jenny belagana nisle na datlake to paha bashishti be patotni belagana dashiste hanatni dashanele. Hi, my name is Cadence Synergy. I'm a sophomore here and my major is veterinary science and I hope everyone's doing good today.
All right, before we get into our little presentation, we did want to acknowledge the University of Arizona's land acknowledgement. I don't know if you've seen this before, but we just wanted to reiterate it and respectfully acknowledge that we are on the lands and territories of Indigenous people, specifically the Dana and the Paskayaki. Arizona is home to 22 federally recognized tribes, and the university is committed to diversity and inclusion. They want to build sustainable relationships with sovereign nations and the indigenous communities through education, offerings, partnership, and community service. And so we wanted to just do a little introduction as to what Native SOAR is, a little bit of background before we get into our work. I don't know if my Rio wants to go over that real quick.
Go for it. I got you. So Native SOAR is Native Student Outreach Access and Resiliency. This program was created in 2013 and it feels like just yesterday. I'm just kidding now. But Dr. Jenna Lee and Dr. Amanda Tuccini had created it based off of, if you guys heard of SOAR before Project SOAR. It's kind of like a pipeline that's from the Project SOAR program, specifically catered for Native students. So the support is focused with students who identify as Native American or American Indian, and it's really awesome because it was mostly created just to do higher education pathways, but our focus right now is supporting mentees overall. Go ahead and skip. So I talked a little bit about our mentors and then our mentees. The mentors, they are in our course. They learn a lot about the background about Native American education, and we prepare them to be mentors through giving them the tools and resources with like icebreakers and fun stuff like that. And then our mentors, they help with the mentees with whatever you may need. So if you're super focused on getting into a specific area, our mentors can do the research for you, whether that's with college or with the military or just with whatever you're kind of focused on after you want to get into after graduation from high school, or even if it's just learning about how to navigate high school, we can help with that as well. You can go to the next slide. But through Native SOAR, there's a lot of mentorship, especially with intergenerational. So not only are our mentors having mentees, but they're also mentees too. So we like to incorporate mentorship with our staff that are on campus or within the community that identify as Native. They mentor our mentors that are in the course, and then also in addition to the partners that we have and grad students. So we like to really emphasize mentorship so that students can get a look at what they want to do for their careers, or whether it's grad professional programs, or even just what it's like working in the community. So we love to just cultivate community, but also create a space on campus, especially within our class, where students can feel like they're at home and can feel good about giving back. Go ahead and go to the next one.
And here was our little Kahoot, just so you can get a little more familiar with Native Soar. If you were interested in joining it, and I'll set this up for everybody. And then the join code's going to be 3318923. It looks like we have 2 students so far. All right, we have 3 students. Again, the Kahoot is going to be 3318923. All right, there's Bradley, Natalie, Mango, and Rose. And then we have Delisa. Okay, for anybody just joining in, we're currently doing a Kahoot, and the code is going to be 3318923. And so far, we have 5 students. All right, it seems like Jessica joined. And that seems to be about everybody. Okay. So I'm going to start it. You can still join the Kahoot as it's going. Well, the code is going to be 3318923. And just put that in the chat. Okay, so let's start that. Okay, so the first question is, what does native source stand for? And we have four options. So it's Native Student Outreach, Access, and Resiliency, Native Support for Opportunity and Achievement Resources, Native Scholars of Academic Readiness, and National Outreach and Academic Resilience. And Native Source stands for Native Student Outreach, Access, and Resiliency. Okay, moving on. Looks like Natalie's in the top score right now. Okay, and what is one main goal of Native SOAR? To replace high school counselors, to earn an easy credit, to create a pipeline of Indigenous graduates and scholars, or to provide scholarships automatically. All right, so the main goal of Native SOAR, as Myria was talking about, is to create a pipeline of Indigenous graduates and scholars to build that community with not for just undergraduates, but also high schoolers such as yourselves. All right, Natalie's still in the lead with Bradley and Rose, and then Jaleesa and Jessica. All right, the next question is, Native SOAR helps students from what levels? And then I mentioned a little bit about this just a second ago. All right, so Native SOAR aims to help students through middle school through their doctoral education. Oh, looks like Bradley took the lead there, and then Jaleesa's got her streak going. And as mentors, what do we do in Native SOAR? Grade student assignments, recruit athletes, only attend meetings, or spend class time planning lessons and supporting students. Yes. Oh, it looks like everybody got that one. We spend time, class time planning lessons and supporting students. That is one of the goals of Native SOAR, and that's what we do for you guys. Not much change in the leaderboard, but we'll keep it going. What is something mentees can do in Native SOAR? Ask questions about college or trade schools, skip school, replace their teachers, or graduate early. Yes, ask questions about college or trade schools. That's what we as college students are here for, and that's what we will do. All right, keep it going. True or false? Native SOAR is only about academics and not culture. False. Yes. Oh, looks like Natalie took the lead there for a minute. And then true or false? NATOSOR is designed to help Native American students navigate higher education. Yes, it is true. That is what the goal is there. And then true or false, college is the only path NATOSOR supports. False. Yes, we support all pathways besides just college. So if you want information about trade schools, about career opportunities, we'll aim to help support you in that way. Okay. And then true or false, native source provides support from a cultural standpoint. Yes, that is true. All right, let's look at the podium. Natalie's in third place. Rose is in second. And Bradley got first. So congratulations to you all. Alrighty. Let me just switch my screen back. All right, here we are. So this is, we're going to be providing a little crash course on college life at the University of Arizona. I'll hand it off to my other fellow mentors to present on like the scholarship opportunities they have here and the ones that they have the U of A granted them.
Hi, I will be talking about the scholarships that you can get outside of the University of Arizona and through. So, as you see, we have listed the tribal external organizations, which have been beneficial for all of us here that are going to college. Some of us have it, or even may even try to sign up for it for this coming semester. Even you guys can too. Um, we have provided the links for them. I could put it in the chat for you guys so you guys can look into them if you look into wanting to apply for them. And as we go more into like, if you're looking into going to the college here at the University of Arizona, there are some grants and awards you could get through that can help you with your tuition and maybe for other little things you might need. So we got the ANS grant, which is for all of us native students that are through the air that are resided in the Arizona. And there's also the Arizona Promise Grant, which is also for people that live in Arizona. And then there's a National Recognition Award, which is a certificate through the college for with your ACT scores for after high school that are in the located in Arizona. So that's always a plus. And then with the University of Arizona, they have this scholarship universe to where you can sign up for multiple different scholarships that are like listed from like the different organizations and colleges through the University of Arizona. And they do list some external ones that are good to look into and see if you could um, qualify and get those awards.
Okay, hi everyone. Today I'm going to be sharing our clubs and support that the U of A offers. So if you guys are ever interested in coming to the University of Arizona, we have the ACES Club, which is an Indigenous STEM field club. Honestly, I'm part of this, so I really love it because I found community. We take all STEM majors, so you don't have to be just engineering. So it's really nice, and plus we get to do a lot of activities. There's the Net Club, which is open to everyone, focused on Navajo culture and community. So I heard such positive feedback about this club as well because you get to share your clans and find out if you have relatives here, and plus you get to start off strong with a group. And also there's the Tahana Atom Student Association. It's a club here on campus that is for Tahana Atom students. So you can find community here as well. And then there's AHA Club, which is for Native American students that are going into the health field. And that's pretty fun because they host volleyball nights, and I highly recommend going. And then there's NASA. So there's the Native American Student Affairs area location where all the natives like to hang out and study and like eat food and just meet one another. It's located at the Robert L. Nugent building, and it's the top floor. And they have a food pantry, study rooms, computer, and printer access. So you get to do free printing there. And yeah.
Okay, so since we're all college students, we wanted to do a little activity in which we'll go into breakout rooms, and so we'll take 2 minutes to write 2 to 3 questions you have about college life, post-secondary pathways, or life after high school in general. And then everybody put into 4 breakout rooms, one with each of the mentors, and you get to ask the mentors your questions, anything else you would like to know um, from us as college students. And then we'll talk for about 5 to 7 minutes in the rooms, and then we'll all regroup and share out what we learned. So I'll
Okay, I'm
set.
just kind of splitting them up right now.
Oh, I have the breakout rooms already. Did you want me to open
Oh,
them?
okay. Yeah, go for it.
All
Can
right.
you put the prompt in the chat? Because I know once we get out of this breakout room, we're not going to be able to see the slides you just shared, Maya.
Mhm. Okay, I will. So I'll set that timer up and just take the time to write any questions you have, and I'll start that.
Great. I'm going to pause the recording for now.
All right, mentors.
All right, and then we have a closing activity where everybody starts to leave. Oh, Cadence, did you want to explain this one?
Okay, yep. For our closing activity, we thought it would be nice for you guys to write a little letter to your future self. It could either be on paper or a Google Doc. You'll be the only one reading this, or if you feel comfortable, you can share it to all of us here in the Zoom meeting. There are 5 prompts we provided that you can go off of, and I will put that in the chat just so you can refer back to it. And take your time, have fun with this. I believe we'll be having a timer for at least.
We'll do the 5 minutes to journal about this.
We got about 5 minutes left, guys. So maybe a little less than 5 minutes.
Okay, start a 3-minute timer.
Dang, some of these questions are really deep. It's like, what's one thing you want to do in 3 years? I don't even know.
I remember doing one of these in high school, and I saw them just previously because it was we did it when I was a junior in high school, so that was about 4 years ago. And I just read it not too long ago, and it says one thing I would want to be. It says I would be an astronaut, which is very very interesting. And on there I put what I see myself doing. I said I would see myself running a restaurant on the Navajo Nation.
Dang, that would be cool. Could name it what dish Cheatney delights a. I'll try
Sounds
to
like
think
a
of a good name
sounds like a unique name already.
for real. Well, everybody's still working on that. I remember back in junior high, I did this like what I want to accomplish. So kind of like not like too much of a letter, but more of like bullet points of what I wanted to do. Um, by the time I got to college and got done with it. And I found that book when I was cleaning my room and I looked at it and I'm like, my handwriting back in the day, it was just illegible. I can't even read it. But um, just seeing like the small stuff, like I wanted to get a job and get a car and like I wanted to move my nieces out here to Tucson and I was really hyped because I was like, dang, I was a young age just thinking about all that stuff. Um, and I was just really happy because I was able to accomplish all of that. So I hope in some way this kind of helps you all with what you want to accomplish, whether it's doesn't have to be about school. It can be with like personal goals, like going to the gym or like building on, your communication, stuff like that. It can expand.
All right, we'll be wrapping up pretty soon with about 25 seconds left.
And for those of you that you're probably still thinking, feel free to like save this activity for your time away from here. I know it's sometimes a little bit hard for me to think about a topic, so if you want to save the letter for later, that's totally cool. Whatever will help you.
Okay. So for a little closing ticket, we just wanted to know, like on a scale of 1 to 5, how ready do you feel for life after high school? And then that was the end of our presentation. We want to say thank you so much for inviting us today, and listening to us speak.
I feel 2.5 just because that's me. Just kidding. All an adult. I don't feel ready. Just kidding.
We got a 10 out of 5 scale.
Oh, I see you, Bradley, all confident over there. I'm like, you go. You get that.
Yep, just because it's 6. They're like, we're ready.
You guys are extra ready for college. That's wonderful to hear.
Awesome. This is so cool. Yay. Cadence also put the link to these slides that the mentors reviewed today. So if you all want to, click those links for the scholarships that they shared, they're available in the slides. Let us know if you have any trouble accessing it. I know sometimes you have to like make it viewable to all, the link. So maybe just double check that. Native Sword team, make sure your slides are accessible. But yeah, thank you all for being our students' first presentation. They're really excited. They did a practice round last week and they did really well today. I just wanted to thank our partners for letting us be a part of your session. It was really special and Thank you to the mentees. I think there were a few that came in here earlier. We just invited some native SOAR mentees to join us too. So if you're in this crowd, we appreciate you for being here, and we'll share our regular Zoom meeting links later. Um, but yeah, we'll see you.
Maria, we just want to say thank you to you and to the many students, or to the mentees who came in and worked with our NASEP students. Really, really appreciate it. I'm always amazed, and this happens within the work in our office, that sometimes just these college students, oftentimes as they leave these experiences in like native soar, they go into their work experience or into that next job or into that next even class, and they do it's doing presentations becomes so much easier for them, even though they may be working with middle school students, high school students, and facilitating these presentations. Oftentimes they're ready to go and present in front of adults. They're ready to kind of facilitate meetings. You tell these students, you've just got 5, 10 minutes, and they're like, oh man, I need a whole hour to kind of do this thing. So just a credit to the students. You all did a great job. And just another credit to Native Soar and all that you all are doing to prepare students, not just for success here at the University of Arizona, but then also success as they go back to their communities and engage in professions and making a difference out there. So thank you all.
Awesome. Thank you both. I'll go ahead. I think I created the rooms. Um, Thank you, Carol, for making me a co-host. So, NASEP, I know you still have a session here, but for Native Soar, I'll meet you all in the breakout room, okay?
Question, Maria. Um, are your mentees also the native SOAR mentees going into the breakout room with you, or will they be dismissed now?
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry. Thank you so much. Mentees, Native Soar, if you're here, feel free to end the Zoom. We'll see you next week, okay? But for the mentors, let's just do our typical debrief. But
Apply for NASEP if you're old enough.
for
Then you can be
real.
back in the Zoom room for our workshops.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna open these rooms.
All right. Thank you all for being here as you're logging off. For the NASEP students, if you could please stay on. We have um, a few more slides to go through. I'll go ahead and open it up. So we just got done with our wonderful Native SOAR guest speakers who were presenting today. I reported back that you all had some good conversations regarding college. And so I think that that's a great intro to see what could be possible if you decide to be a mentee in the program. As I said, they're still having folks sign up. Or even if you come to the U of A and you decide that you want to be a mentor with the program, you sort of see what they're able to do, not only in the virtual space, but they do go to schools and do this there too. So highly recommend. I did the program, Raquel did the program, Sophia did as well. And so it's a great opportunity. We are going into the next part, which is to summarize what we covered last week. I'll go through this a little bit quickly just because we are going to hopefully have some time afterwards to meet to talk about different things with the science fairs. But if you would like to put in the chat what we covered in the last workshop, you may. Here's some photos here for reference, and this is also the YouTube link if you want to view it later for, the workshop 8 that we had. Let me check the chat. All right, so I will go ahead and summarize. We talked about creating a scientific poster about how for those that have completed their science fair presentations, it's basically like a different iteration of what the project presentation slides are, or the trifold board, if that's what was entered in the science fair. It's basically this over here. Hopefully you can see my cursor, but it's the top right photo here. This is what our template looks like, and then these two photos here are basically examples of what these research posters can look like. You're basically taking a keynote, PowerPoint presentation, or Google Sheet, expanding it to being 3 by 4 feet, and then adding the content in from your other project, if it was a virtual presentation, or if you had the write-up of it somewhere in Word, you would just take pieces of it and then reformat it in text boxes to be placed into this presentation. And it's great because you can use it to present at different opportunities, including conferences, and conferences often cover travel and registration for folks who are presenting in these different spaces. We covered a few areas where these opportunities arise, including like the American Indian Science and Engineering Society conferences, the SACNAS conference, and also youth presentations, environmental tribal forums, different things like that. So it's a great way to highlight and also present in a way that's offline if you don't have the opportunity to have like a screen or a projector to present your work. You can do it in this manner as well. We partner with the College of Pharmacy to print. We would need advance notice just to make sure that we can do it in time. And they only print once unless there's been drastic changes to a poster, like you have more results, you have you added onto it in some way. It can't just be like, oh, I added a different picture or something like that. It has to be a big change. So that's what we covered at the last workshop. These are upcoming deadlines. So we had a few people register for the SARSEF Science Fair, which is coming up quite quickly. And so everyone who signed up has until tomorrow to make project corrections. You only get to do it once. So make sure you do it at the same time as the other corrections. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I can help. The registration deadline for the Four Corners Regional Science and Engineering Fair is February 27th. Virtual judging starts for SARSEF on February 28th, and the in-person interviews for SARSEF are on March 3rd. If you need a excuse letter or something to state why you're missing school for that day, I can provide one. And I'll talk with Rudy to see if we're able to provide a like parking voucher or reservation for that day since it's on campus. I'll get back to folks about that, but let me know if you're planning to get dropped off or drive yourself, or if a parent's going to be there with you. For the Arizona State Science Fair, the registration for that deadline is going to be March 11th. If you plan to participate in this, please let me know sooner than later, because I'm going to be traveling starting March 5th. Like March 5th is when, after that date is when I'll be unavailable, and I won't return until after this registration deadline has passed. So we can get you registered between now and March 4th, just to give a little bit of wiggle room. So if you're planning to participate in the Arizona State Fair, please let me know so I can start working on registrations. Given this, our next workshop is technically scheduled for March 24th because I'll be on travel. The March 10th one is not going to be an option. So I wanted to ask folks, it'll be in the next slide, about moving the workshop to March 17th versus March 24th. because then that will give folks who are planning to participate in the NASEP fair a little bit more time to meet and talk with me about questions that they have. Because otherwise, if we have it on the 24th, it's going to be happening after the NASEF, the National Native American or American Indian Science and Engineering Fair registration deadline. So that's why there's like question mark here. And I do have the original date here on the 24th, but that's the explanation for those two dates there. March 27th is when the Arizona State Science and Engineering Fair high school judging interviews will happen. And then April 3rd is when the virtual science fair will happen for NASEF, and April 10th through 11th is going to be in Oklahoma in person if folks are opting to do that way. Again, reminder, you can choose between the state fair and the NASEF fair. You can't do both because it's considered double dipping because they both qualify for the International Science and Engineering Fair, which is in Phoenix this year. So on to the question, can I get like a thumbs up in the chat or reactions if it's okay to move the next workshop to March 17th? March 17th, does anyone, is everyone okay with that? All right, I'm getting some thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay. Yes, and then as a reminder too, if you are doing SARSEF, you can sign up for the Arizona State Fair or NASEF after this. It's not, since it's a regional fair, it's not like you can't choose anything else after doing SARSEF or a regional fair. So, okay, so we will change the next workshop to be March 17th instead of March 27th. I'll have to update the I'll update the NASEP on a page calendar to reflect that. Oh, we skipped way forward. So with those deadlines coming up, if you need some guidance on where to get started, I would get started with the NASEP research project guide. And here's the link to that if needed. So in summary, we had our native SOAR presentation. We reviewed our last meetings and discussed any announcements, deadlines, and decided on when our next workshop will be. We're working on an RSVP form for the banquet. So this is a reminder, we'll be having our closing banquet in Tucson. We'll have more details forthcoming, but please save the date for May 2nd. And then, yeah, this is our opportunity to ask any questions. This quote is from Chief Seattle: "The earth does not belong to us, we belong to the earth." I don't know if I mentioned that one before, but I liked it, so it's okay, we'll do it twice. And our next workshop will be on the 17th, again, as a reminder. If you don't have any questions, feel free to log off and have a good night. Otherwise, I'll stay on if folks have questions. If there's a lot of questions, then we'll go into breakout rooms. But yeah, go ahead and log off or ask questions.